Yo, Daima Goku Super Saiyan 4 is finally out, new DLC character after 4 years, and this will be interesting. A day one combo guide for y'all while breaking down his basic stuff to more advanced concepts, but everyone is constantly labbing him, so his routings and optimals and stuff will obviously change, with new tech constantly coming. And honestly, this character has been kind of growing on me, not gonna lie. Hopefully this will be alright for now to get y'all started, but we actually need to start with his unique mechanics. So first of all, he's the only character with chargeable heavies, chargeable down heavy, chargeable air heavy just by holding the input. So obviously it's going to be different because you get more damage, 13 here versus just 1k from the regular uncharged one. And the heavy JHs give you loops later with like a ground bounce that we'll see later. And 6H also hits overhead. On top of hitting overhead, the 6H has armor to it. And this just phases through everything. His 5M also really good round start being a 9 frame 5M. And the way his lyrics work, he has the light version, the medium version brings him up in the air, and the EX one brings him behind characters. And from the lyrics, you have your light follow-ups, your medium follow-ups, you can get the smash, and your EX ones as well. Pressing down light kicks them up, down medium gives you a smash, and same with the heavy, that side switches, you can super dash afterwards too. So this gives him a really easy side switch whenever you want, which is kind of cool. Pressing the 8 input actually gives you a grab afterwards. The light one changes side so you can vanish, but the medium one and the EX one keep you same side. His main knockdown tool, and you can go right into it without the follow-ups. His JS is weird because it flips you and keeps you in this key blast animation. His 5S kind of lets you reverse beat, that we'll see, kind of acting like a lariat too. So he has two supers. This one is actually his lower dealing damage, 860 when scaled, and his alternate one does more damage at 891 when scaled. You have to be grounded for this alternate one, and you can combine it for like a level 2, although it doesn't do that much damage. His level 3, which is gorgeous by the way, deals 759 when scaled, and you can get mix out of this with 41 frames of a frame advantage, but using his EX dash can get some like 3-way mix-ups. It's especially nice because his tool actually hits low, but you can also do his medium one to do like a high-low, maybe something like this, but we'll explore that in a different video. But it is nice that his 2L does hit low. I actually really like this 2L animation, that looks so sick. His level 5, when you hold that input, add an extra 980 damage and gives you extra frame advantage too at 59. So you actually get better mix-ups from this. Again, we'll explore this next time too. But the level 1 might have a lot of synergistic aspect to it because you can whiff a lot of supers, set things up, so get a Dragon Rush down to go at the bottom, which is kind of sick. So you might see a lot of synergistic things happening from that, especially because of the Height 2 movie. Alright, time for his combo, starting with the easy BnBs. First of all, you always want to do 214M into delayed beam by pressing S to kind of maximize that. But ideally, you want to do the Rekka ender with 236L 8M for sliding knockdown, again delaying the beam here for 4.7k off an easy BnB. You want to add that beam extension to almost all of his smashes, like after 2 H's, do that 214M into delay beam to get 4.5k here. And his Dragon Rush simply looks like so, for not bad outputs. But an alternate one that you can do is you can do his 236 Rekka into 2M, then you can super dash afterwards, but if you use 1236 Rekka, you can't do it again. What's harder too about it is that you can't go into his flip afterwards too, so this tends to be a bit less damaging. You can ID after his 5L to add more hits, and here's what I mean by doing his 236M into 2L, where you can super dash afterwards and then still do the 236L after. Another BnB trick is doing the 2H and then delaying 214M to do the medium flip into the extensions that we'll cover later on with that bigs only thing. And you can also get this really tight 236L into M right away to go up in the sky so you can connect into stuff like that, but you lose your ability to get knocked down. He has these routes with 236LM and then delay the JS where you hold down after 236M to continue the combo. Here's an example with an Assist Extension, and shout out to SamX13X13 for this combo concept. Let me know if you guys can find like a universal version for this, or if I'm just tripping, that would be kind of sick. It's only nice when you do a rejump to get your 236L back to get the sliding knockdown, so you do the same dash holding down and then you delay your medium into the rejump. After the jam, you just dash jump up, but it is really hard. I do not recommend this one because you don't even get a good output out of it. You can add the 236M 2L thing into super dash for more combo, but only 5k. The EX Rekka gives you more of a wall bounce, so you can actually connect his JS. That's probably the only way I found to connect his JS mid-screen. That move is kind of useless otherwise. But what's nice about doing 236H plus H is that not only do you side switch whenever you want, but you can also do 236L later on in the combo to actually get sliding knockdown. So here, I still do the generic ender, and here's how it looks like with just adding a Vanish switch to increase output. So that J2H version is just fine with the 214M. Here is a Vanish Extension version though, where we do 236M holding 4 so we can land JL, then you can continue however you want with the 236L. Here's a scaled version of that. That JM is actually really good for crosses and stuff, so that'll be interesting. But here we're just showing off the light grab into a Vanish JDR to just, you know, get more damage, I guess, to switch sides. But the medium grab works well. And then easy side switch that you get from this by slightly charging that J2H and then you delay your super dash, easy side switch. You can also get these side switches by delaying your 5M2 and jumping forward too, but that's a bit trickier. But his most optimal stuff lies in his grounded routes. You can do 5S and kind of reverse beat back into 5L, and you preserve the JA smash here. But it's more optimal to do his full auto combo into his flip beam, and then you do his Rekka ender here, the 236L into the 8M. For 5k. You can also connect a 5M after the grounded 5S. I really like that. It's like a short range lariat into the J2A stuff that we spoke about for 5.2k here, which is pretty sick. But what's really cool is that the second hit of his auto combo with 5LL has so much hits onto it that you can do 236MM to get the smash and continue with a dash 2M. So that's pretty cool. It actually has so much hits onto it that you can connect 6H stuff. After 5H, you can do his L flip into the beam to extend. But we can use that concept to his medium to extend it further. After the 5S, you do the 5L 236MM, dash up 2M 5S again into the auto combo for really good damage here, 5.3k. And here's how the skilled example can look like, just omitting some hits here for like 4.2k, but it gets even more optimal than that. So let's start covering his a bit more advanced combos. You can also connect a J236L into M right away, canceling it to get the smash high up in the sky where you can land the beam but no sliding knockdown. Now for the rejumps, you can do 214L into the beam and then delay your super dash, then air dash, and then you continue afterwards. You can actually add a JML, but it's a lot easier just doing a 5H, and it's good for him because you can do that Rekka 2L and then super dash afterwards and still keep it going. Here I do a Vanish. You have to do a Vanish against sliding knockdown. Against bigger characters though, what I found is that after the rejump, you can actually delay your legs, do 236M into the 2L to get your super dash so you can still do your J236Ls. And he also has a JLJH rejump by slightly delaying that beam, delay that JL once you make contact, and then delay the heavy. Then you can continue as so. Pretty hard though. Bobby Dor found that his 5H into 236L stuff is his most optimal. However, this one is kind of character specific. It doesn't work on smalls, only medium to big size characters. Two tricks for this though is that you want to slightly delay the first 5H and slightly delay the 236L, holding back the entire time so you can mash that 5M so it comes out. Because if you don't hold back, you'll get the follow-ups instead. You can also charge the 5H a little bit so that it works on everyone, but the part that isn't universal is the auto combo part. That part is what tends to drop on smaller characters, at least from what I found. Now KJ optimizes a bit further by doing the M auto combo. After you see the Rekkas, hold back and then press M again so that you don't get, you know, the full auto combo into supers, and you can continue the same routing. Unless you just get rid of that 5M before the 5H, which makes the combo a lot easier, and then that actually gets the auto combo to connect on these smaller characters for some reason, I guess. But you can always go into this route by jump canceling the 5L and then doing the Rekka's 2L, J2L, then super dashing afterwards, and then calling an assist to help you to get that sliding knockdown and stuff. 2 bars too, not bad. Or you can opt for this version by doing the grounded 236 2L and then super dashing up to continue. You get a side switch actually, which is kind of saucy. Then you can do J236L, which is a different special. And here's how the scaled version of that can look like as an example for y'all on the big at least. Doing the auto combo and then doing JM, J2H, JM, 236, 8M right away. On smalls, you can just do less hits, and honestly, it's actually leads to better output and feels more universal. So just go for this to get the auto combo to link, and you should get like 4.5k. His more optimal stuff comes from this medium extension where you delay the EX flip, hold forward, and then delay the held JH stuff, and you can extend how you want. We'll go over these more in depth in the corner. The trick is to basically do your EX flip, hold forward, then you hold a J8. So let yourself hold forward, then you dash jump to do another charge J8, and you can also add the 2L super dash though. And if you're really good at doing that 236L, delay the heavy, then you can do these loops mid-screen as well. You can get really good output from this, especially when you're close to the corner, because that makes it really easy, as we'll see in the corner section. This one gives you 6.5k if you just have a bar to spend. What's really cool is that even from a 6-7, if your assist keeps them in place, you can do a dash jump, aerial jumping heavy to continue into the loops. Here we do the J2H to get J8 smash. Especially if you're close on the corner where you can land like a 5H, a held 5H for the smash, where you can do 2S, J2S to land even more output out of here. I think you can optimize this to get even more bar, even more output, but it's actually pretty creative. It's pretty fun too. So there's a lot of creative ways to go into your loops. And if you ever land like a 6H, you can also go into auto combo stuff. You could probably optimize this a lot better. So let me just optimize this real quick. And wow, I actually found like you can get a side switch from the 5H. I think this is only on smalls that you get the side switch. On bigger characters, they just face the same way. But the 5S picks up either way for some sauce. If you land a super dash close to the ground, you can go into J26L into the medium to get that smash dash 2M 5S reverse beam into auto combo, going into the rest for a 3.7k. The EX actually gives you a lot more of a bigger wall bounce, so you can do it from higher up, you can get more damage from it, then you can still dash up 2M. Here's an alternate ender using that Rekka 2L to super dash. Now you don't really need Vanish because all of his hits, like if you land his Rekkas, you can do his Rekka into 2L or 2M, then super dash afterwards to continue the combo, but just in case, here's like a simple Vanish ender can look like without the auto combo. Alright, now it's time for the Kona, and everything that we spoke about kind of applies on the corner, but he gets a lot of these extra loops that we'll see soon. But before the loops, here are just some easy confirms. You can also do this route with a backwards Kame beam, and you can connect that into 2Ms, and again you can loop that. The loops kind of do cheese me, but it is what it is. He has these beam loops by doing 6H beam and then dash 5L, 6H beam dash 5L, and what's really cool is that after the auto combo you can extend with an assist or do a flip into DR to get solo second knockdown. He has these JH held charge, so you do the first one air dash JH, and then after the JS you slightly wait a little bit after 214L to do the air dash, or else you might corner steal and you don't want that. And you also want to delay your J2H a little bit, because if you do J2H too early, then you'll be above them. So you delay that, hold it, then you double jump up, hold it, and then you do the lariat, just a lariat to whip, holding back. That way you don't get no follow-ups. And you hold another JH, do the key blast, do the flip right away into DR for 6.6k. Off a fully charged 5H, which is not likely to happen, you can land 2S into J2S, and you can do these delay J2H held loops into the lariat, continuing this for 6.9k. In terms of optimals that we have so far, Lavender found this version by doing only one key blast and then doing the lariat heavy, delaying that heavy, and then jumping up, delaying those 2 H's, delaying the heavy after lariat, and then you can land into a grounded DR, do 236L into 8M right away, and then you can land level 1, getting like 7.6k. It is universal, and I did find this route pretty hard, especially on like smaller characters, but the ender was probably the hardest part for me, like that last loop with the JH. For some reason, you just have to be really fast with it, like really tight with how you hold it, and make sure that you're double jumping ASAP. Lavender from the Discord also found a way to go into this from a 5LL, where you can do the 6H into the beam stuff, then you can get 3 of these loops to go for like 5.2k. But here's what I mean by like the last loop being kind of inconsistent, because sometimes it can drop depending on your timings. And here how it looks like from a 5M starter, where you do 5S into 5M, then jump and continue. You can skip the first key blast to get more damage out of 3 loops, but here's 2 loops where you do the key blast flip to get a sliding knockdown from, you know, the JDR ender. Just showing how you can go into that level 2 once again. And here's a skilled example of 3 loops to get like 5k damage through almost 3 bars. But he has other loops too, like you can do grounded, charge 5H's, 5S's, like he has other routes as well. This is just like his most damaging ones, you know what I mean? Just remember that his level 3 is not airborne, right? So you have to be on the ground. So that's where the JDR ender comes in handy. Or if you do the grounded DR, you can't go into his grab because the combo drops right after that. You have to do level 1. So just go into level 3 right away if you want that. And in the corner off a 2H Blade 9676 found this extension, delaying the last JLs there so you can do J2H into 236M 8M. And if you can get a Z-tag where you're low to the ground, you can go into that charged heavy ender. So here after Goku Black, it adds like an extra 1k damage. So essentially adding like a free level 1 while gaining meter. So here you smash it, delaying that J2H heavily, then you can jump up to get the JDR to get like knocked down. This turns into a TOD obviously. All of the more optimal routes that we've highlighted earlier turn into TODs. Here's just like a simpler version of that Midscreen one where we hold onto the flip for later to show off this Janemba Ki Blast into the flip, delay the beam, delay, and then you can get the other assistant, which I thought looks really sick, and I saw KJ Pixel kind of land this synergistic extension at the end. But I'm sure you can get a lot more optimal than this. TODing with like what, 3-bar start? And this was a fun TOD to end off the video by Horizon Bumpy, climbing accidentally. Essentially, after the auto combos, you can dash, hold the charge heavy, and then, you know, continue the combo however you want. Solo TOD kind of could have been more optimal here, but I want to show off all the supers, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Daima Goku has been growing on me, and I'm kind of excited to see how Bandai continues to push Dragon Ball FighterZ in the future, man. Share your thoughts down below, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.